Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Robert Paris and Carter Ames, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Beginning on July 1st, Burlington will be switching the company that provides emergency notification services, that is reverse 911 calls and alerts for community events and DPW concerns. Previously, Burlington has used Code Red. The new company will be the Massachusetts-based company Rave, which offers all the same services. Residents may get some calls or texts about the switchover or some test calls from the new provider, so beware. Burlington this week appointed Rebecca Donahue to the position of firefighter paramedic, making her the first female firefighter in the town's 225-year history. Donahue previously worked for an ambulance company as an EMT and has additional experience as a dispatcher and communications supervisor. Her appointment was met with applause from those in attendance. Let's look.
I wish to appoint Rebecca Donahue to the position of firefighter paramedic in the Burlington Fire Department and ask that the board waive its 15-day waiting period.
I proudly move that for Burlington's first female firefighter.
Seconded.
Move to the second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Against? 500 in favor. Congratulations.
The Select Board also appointed Connor Egbert to the Fire Department. He also worked for a private ambulance company before taking on this role. Welcome aboard, Rebecca and Connor, and we hope you don't see too much emergency activity. The Select Board this week tabled a conversation about a marijuana social equity policy after considering it for the first time. The State Cannabis Control Commission requires Burlington to implement such a policy because our bylaws allow for medical marijuana sales, even though there are no such facilities in town right now. The social equity policy would establish pathways to business ownership in the cannabis industry for people most impacted by the war on drugs, including disproportionate arrest and incarceration as a result of marijuana prohibition. That language comes from the CCC website. The policy is not related to a proposal to allow recreation cannabis sales that's currently making its way to town meeting. Burlington should already have a social equity policy in place, but enforcement isn't slated to begin until next year. Excuse me. Residents could save about $15 a month on their electric bills under the town's new municipal aggregation plan. At least those are the tentative numbers put forth by the contractors from Colonial Power Group, who have been working with the town on the new plan. The savings calculations are preliminary based on Eversource's current rate, which fluctuates more than municipal plans. Burlington is expected to sign a 24-month contract with a supplier in the coming weeks, locking in the same rate until late 2026, regardless of what happens in the energy market. Colonial Power President Mark Capadonna explained the savings.
For 24 months, you're looking at about almost 2.5 cents. So each penny is worth about $6. The Department of Public Utilities says use 600 kilowatts as the average consumer. So if you do that, 1 cent is $6. So there'd be $12 and another half. So somewhere around $15 or so per month. If you're looking at an annual basis, you're looking at upwards of $180 per year.
Residents who join the new plan won't notice any difference when the new plan goes into effect. You'll still pay your utility bills to Eversource, and they'll still respond to emergencies and maintain transmission lines. Those who wish to opt out can do so with an opt-out card that will be mailed to you directly in the coming months. A new principal has been announced for Marshall Simons Middle School, filling a spot left vacant by the outgoing Carrie Purchase. Tim McMahon served as high school principal at North Middlesex Regional and has also been an 8th grade teacher in Waltham. He introduced himself to the school committee this week.
First of all, thank you, everybody. A pleasure to meet you, and thanks for the opportunity. Both Dr. Conti and Dr. Chen have been just great the past couple weeks to this process, and today I got to meet the entire administrative team, which was awesome. Really good feeling, really positive vibe from the group. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be coming in officially July 1. Once I get a computer and email address, my plan is pretty simple. Reach out to staff, students, and parents. With staff, open office hours, have them come in throughout the summer, get to know who's ever around, who would want to come in and kind of meet informally. And then open myself up to coffee hours with parents and students throughout the course of the summer, and then ideally hold an open house for incoming 6th graders at some point in August, and ideally utilize our 8th graders as student ambassadors for that process. But in the meantime, my plan is to get to know the building, get to know my key stakeholders, and try to get moving in the summertime. Summertime is challenging, but again, my availability is significantly wide open for the summer, so I plan to be there every day and get things going and prepare our school year well in advance. So I'm excited to get going and excited for the opportunity, so thank you all for your time.
Welcome aboard, Principal McMahon. A review of the math curriculum in Burlington schools found the district is not meeting its belief statement for students with disabilities, Black and Hispanic students, and lower income students. It's part of an ongoing curriculum alignment being done with consultant Dr. Kateri Thunder. The review was based off quantitative data, classroom observations, survey results, interviews, and focus groups. The report came up with 10 recommendations for the district, including hiring a K-8 math coordinator, clarifying the responsibilities of math interventionists, making sure all students can access Algebra 1 by 10th grade, and other suggestions. Assistant Superintendent Dr. Chen said the district is thinking carefully about how to proceed with the recommendations.
And these are baby steps, because this type of looking and taking a look at our curriculum, it doesn't happen overnight. And so I don't want people to feel nervous, or parents or even teachers to feel nervous that all of a sudden when they wake up everything has changed.
And Superintendent Dr. Conti was rated exemplary or proficient in all categories in his annual performance review. In an anonymized survey result, the school committee members ranked Conti on instructional leadership, management and operations, family and community engagement, and professional culture. Most comments from the board members were positive. One anonymous member said Conti works well with employees and demonstrates professionalism with staff. One person appreciated his efforts to communicate with all parents and community members, even when language barriers can make that difficult. But one comment pointed to what they saw as a reactionary approach to facilities maintenance and to identifying at-risk students. Dr. Conti thanked the committee for the feedback. Here's what he had to say.
As I really want to emphasize every year, is any superintendent achievement is the recognition of the work of others. So many things that I get credit for in this position, other people do the work, and no 3 people represent that more than the 3 people at this meeting now. Where there are situations or areas that we need to improve, then I have that responsibility. So I'm responsible for making those improvements, and I do welcome that feedback. Any organization can get better, and I think we need to continue to do that, and I'm responsible for the progress in those areas.
After months of planning and preparation, the Burlington Sculpture Park on Saturday held the unveiling of 16 pig statues meant to celebrate Burlington's business community and its agricultural past. Sydney Bowles reports Burlington children went hog wild for the incredible local art.
Introducing Starry Night.
Burlington children squealed with delight as the Sculpture Park unveiled 16 pig sculptures, sponsored by local businesses and painted by local artists.
Introducing Oinky and Moblet.
Sculpture Park Committee Chair Barbara LaRue was the mastermind behind the project.
Well, we have been working on this project for about 8 months. We first got the idea when we saw the cow parade on Boston Common last summer, and we decided that we should do that here in Burlington. But Burlington doesn't really have a particular affinity with cows. Burlington was a pig farming community back in the day, so we decided to go with pigs.
Local businesses and organizations sponsored the pigs, with the money going towards the next generation of art for the Burlington Sculpture Park.
Barbara had this idea that we could pay for the next round of sculptures. We pay each sculptor $2,500 for a 2-year fee to show their work. And with 5 sculptures, that's $12,500 some odd dollars. Where's the money come from? And we don't like to go to the town. So she said, I know, why don't we have these pigs, like many towns have done cows and other things. Because it was a pig town, we'll do the pig sculptures.
Woodworking in itself is kind of an art. So we like to support different artists, and we appreciate different forms of art. So that's why we got into it.
A fabulously painted pig dubbed Poppy was anonymously donated to the Burlington Council on Aging and painted by members of the Senior Center Art Group.
I think it's beautiful. We picked the right colors. The reds and the yellows pop from that blue background. And it was fun seeing all the kids jump on it and touch all the flowers. See, they're doing it again.
The event was a hands-on experience for Burlington children.
I never anticipated that the children would want to touch the pigs. I thought everyone was just going to stand there and we'd unveil them and then we'd move on to the next pig. But the excitement that the children showed and wanting to touch the pigs and interact with the pigs was really wonderful to see. And it tells me that kids love art and they want art and it's good for them and we should have more of it.
The statues will be on the Common through the end of August. For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
If you've driven past the high school this week, you might have noticed some lacrosse sticks up in the air. Robert Paris takes us to the Red Devil Lacrosse Week.
The Red Devil Lacrosse program had a Little Devils Lax Week, where young athletes had a chance to learn new skills and techniques.
We have about 60 clinicians here for another fun-filled clinic. Kids are out here, they're learning how to play, they're having fun. We're making sure they get plenty of water in this beautiful, beautiful sun. All right, it's much different than it was in March when it just rained and it was cold and it was cold and it was rainy.
BHS students and Burlington alumni took time out of their days to help out at the clinic.
Wyatt Condon, Brendan DeRosa are out here, Quinn McDonald, Nolan Jennings, Daniel Hannafin. We have Zach Aubel, a 2-year player at UMass Amherst, former player for Burlington High School here helping out. Chris Doyle and Ryan Doherty are in charge of the fun aspect of this. It's fantastic. Alessia is our trainer, athletic trainer here on staff.
As a sophomore at UMass Amherst, Zach Aubel brought his coaching abilities from the college level.
Take a lot of the stuff that I learned from college and try and bring it here. A lot of fun, a lot less yelling, but still having a great time and a lot of structure taken from college. They're getting better every day. Their stick skills, ground balls, and all the tough plays that I see them making. So it's awesome. It's fun to see.
I spoke with several of the participants who loved playing outside on the field.
It's intense, it's physical, and it's fun. Everybody is a really good athlete here, even K through first.
Head coach Brendan Manny has established a work and play environment.
What we want to do is we want to maximize the amount of energy, entertainment, and learning that we can, right? So that they can learn how to do the basics, right? Scooping ground balls, passing with both hands, shooting appropriately, and then how to play the game, how to play in small situations, how to play in larger situations, and you incorporate many fun aspects of it, things that are not necessarily strictly lacrosse related, that are just athletic IQ related. So,
from Varsity Field, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
It wouldn't be summer in Burlington without the Burlington Police Cops and Cars events. BNews student reporter Carter Ames went on over to check it out.
Hello everybody, welcome to the 2024 Burlington Cops and Cars Show. I am Carter Ames. Let's go check this event out.
Well, it was one of those things where I really like old cars, and a number of police officers I work with at the Burlington Police Department like old cars, and we have some. And I decided to, let's get everyone together and host a show here on the Common. And we decided we would charge entry for it, and we would donate all the money to People Helping People, which is our food pantry in town.
We've been around for 32 years, okay? And we do classic cars and classic cars memorabilia on our television show. We travel all over the country. We've done celebrities, rock and roll stars, baseball, football players, and all. I have a love for automobiles, so that kind of got me as a hobbyist. And I said, hey, you know what? I bet your television show would be great.
What kind of cars do you own?
Well, I just sold a Corvette. I've had a 1967 Ford convertible, a 67 Olds 442, and a number of other cars.
Okay, so we're helping out. We're selling drinks, so sodas and waters, and every single money that we get here is going to be donated for the scholarship foundation that we have here in Burlington.
What does it take to prepare for today?
It takes a lot to prepare. We actually start in January because you have to get the word out, and you have to really make sure people know about it and come. So there's a lot of preparation to secure the place and get the food squared away and get all the volunteers lined up. So it's been a long process.
This has been Carter Ames, and we will see you guys next time for Cops and Cars 2025.
Speaking of summer, there's no better time to enjoy everything Burlington has to offer. Robert Paris has this look at what's to come this season.
Summer is officially here, and with that is the variety of events and activities at the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department. I caught up with Director Brendan Egan at Wildwood Park.
Jam-packed brochure, as we always do in the summer. All of our traditional programs, summer discovery, preschool, jump start, and craft and play for preschoolers. Activities that have been going for years and very popular. And then, of course, we have our school-age programs, Club Simons, which goes K through 5. We have Parks Place, which is in 3 locations this summer, Regan, Rohannes, and Wildwood. And then, of course, we have our middle school parks program for the middle schoolers, and that's a trip-based program.
Let's not forget the summer concerts and shows.
So we have Tuesday night family concerts, and then Wednesday night we have our children's shows, and then also another opportunity for children's shows on Thursdays, held over at Simons Park in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. There really is something for everybody.
One of the biggest events of the summer is Celebrate Burlington, which will be held on August 3rd.
We usually see 8,000 people there, and it's a great opportunity for us to say thank you to the residents of Burlington for supporting us throughout the year by signing up for programs, attending other events, concerts, things like that. It's an opportunity for Burlington businesses and nonprofits to come out and talk about what they do. We start setting up on the Common as early as 6:30 a.m. The event happens from 11 to 4 on the Common. That's when you can come out and do the inflatables and get something to eat from a food truck, but also talk to all those vendors and nonprofits. And then from 5 to 7, there's a car show over at Simons Park, which has just grown in popularity the last few years. And then 7 o'clock, back over on the Common, we have a concert. And 9 o'clock, we end the night with fireworks. Come out for all of it, some of it, part of it. It's all up to you, but there's something for everyone that day.
Summer only lasts a few months here in New England, so make sure you get an opportunity to enjoy the beautiful weather.
You know, I like to see people out utilizing our parks and facilities and open spaces. I like to see families enjoying our concerts and our programs, being outside and being together. I think it's just what summer in New England's all about.
I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
And there's more events coming up. Maya Jetman, director of the Burlington Council on Aging, always finds the most interesting local folks to highlight at the Senior Center. And coming up on July 30th, she's bringing in Jack Hartunian, a singer you won't want to miss.
Jack is a Billerica resident, so he's basically local. And he is an incredible singer, absolutely incredible. And he just won an award. And I think he's definitely up and coming. He sings kind of more classical, kind of operatic. Young kid, I think he's still in high school. And so he's making his rounds for the summer. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so come out and support him, and let's show him what Burlington, how welcoming we are.
You can watch the full interview with more upcoming events on our website at bcattv.org. Now let's turn to look at the forecast with Peter Brown, and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Get Your Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the heart of
summer. We are getting in towards July. I know it's hard to believe that the year is already half over, and we are really in for some really nice weather coming up for the next 7 days or so, which actually brings us up to our 4th of July forecast, if you can believe it. Now, starting out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the mid-80s. We're actually going to be a little bit cooler than that. Those conditions are also what we expect when we get towards the end of the period, getting in towards next Thursday, the 4th of July. Our average highs again should be in the mid-80s, and it's going to be a little bit cooler than that, I think, out there. It looks like it's going to be fairly dry as we get out towards the end of the period, so it doesn't look like it's going to be too wet out there. And of course, now that we are officially into summer and moving in towards July, our length of day is now going to be getting shorter. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next 7 to 10 days. And looking at our temperature map, they're looking at us to have a chance of fairly average temperatures. Actually, I'm thinking we may be a little slightly below average as we head in towards the first week of July here and rounding out June. Now, looking at our precipitation chances, they're expecting us to have a slight chance of above average precipitation. That I'm not seeing quite as much. We're just going to have to keep an eye on that and see if that really comes true. Looks like that's going to be really focused over this weekend or so, but nothing really heavy out there. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. Again, starting at our weekend on Friday, looks like it's going to be sunny to start out Friday. Temperatures around 80, so really nice out there. Showery conditions come in Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit breezy on Saturday with temperatures in the mid-80s. Then as we start out the work week next week, I don't know, many of you may be going away for your first lengthy summer vacation. Looks like we're going to have a fairly nice week next week. Going to be very sunny on Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures very pleasant in the upper 70s to low 80s. A couple of showers move in on Wednesday with temperatures being held down a bit into the mid to upper 70s in there. After, it looks like the 4th of July right now looks like to be pretty nice. Looks like showers are going to stay off toward our south and west. Temperatures are going to be, we think, around 80. So if you're going to be out there celebrating, out there watching fireworks, looks like it's going to be a very pleasant 4th of July. Not too cool and definitely not too hot. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
This is Pepper, and you are watching BCAT.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On July 3rd from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a children's performance called Matt Heaton and the Outside Toys at the Town Common. Everyone is welcome, and the show is free. On Independence Day, the Burlington 4th of July Committee will be having the annual 4th of July Parade at 11 a.m. Parade will start at the Presbyterian Church and will end at the Marshall Simons Middle School. On July 13th and 14th, the 20th Rahanis Park Open will be happening at Rahanis Park Tennis Courts. Everyone is welcome to attend, and pre-registration is required. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
As we do every week, we're finishing up with a photo sent in by a member of our community. Carter Ames, a student reporter and frequent crew member behind the scenes here at BCAT and BNEWS Weekly, sent in this photo from Celtics Victory Parade last week in Boston. Thank you, Carter. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher. See you again next week.